Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the campus of Chapel Hill Chauncy Hall School in Waltham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity girls volleyball contest between the hosting Chargers of Chapel Hill Chauncy Hall and the visiting Newman School Cardinals. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Remember, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And then if there's anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. You know, it could be a note as simple as go Newman or go CHCH. No matter who you're rooting for, we appreciate fans bringing good vibes and support in the live chat. Maybe you want to shout out a specific player. Maybe you're tuning in to watch a family member or a friend. You want to give them a shout out in the live chat. Maybe you want to let us know where it is you're tuning in from. You know, that's always fun with these online live streams that can be watched all over the world. If there's any technical difficulties you want to you want to point out, if you notice anything wrong with the video or the audio, the Wi-Fi connection so far here in Waltham is a little less than ideal. Right now it appears we're dropping about 8% of our frames so far. I'm hoping that it'll get a little better as we go. But, you know, it could potentially get worse. So if it's getting egregiously bad, I am recording this while live streaming it. So, you know, if it comes out bad and there's nothing I can do to improve it, then don't worry. I will have a backup that I can upload later tonight. In the meanwhile, if you notice anything else wrong with the video or with the audio, then I encourage you to say something in the live chat. You never know, it might be something I don't notice on my end, and it might be something that's an easy fix. So if you see something, say something. Also, if you notice me butchering the names of any of the Newman players, if I'm botching their pronunciation, please correct me in the live chat. I want to give these players the best coverage I possibly can, and to me, part of that means getting their names right. And on that note, let's take a look at the roster for the visiting Newman School Cardinals. Going in order of jersey number for Newman, first off we have number 1, Charlotte Irwin. Next up we have number 2, Callahan Brown. Number 3, Fedi Lopez. Number 4, Ruby Romer. Number 5, Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik. Number 7, Addie Gordon. Number 9, Abby Mustafi. Number 12, Annabelle Pointer. Number 15, Maddie Parker. And number 16, Alice Francis Chet. So that is the roster for the Newman Cardinals. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a roster for CHCH. So I'm just going to be narrating the Chargers players off of jersey number in this contest, but I do have the names for the Newman Cardinals. And again, if I'm pronouncing any of those names wrong, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. Okay, we've got a little bit of time before this one gets started, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to try and play around with the Wi-Fi a little bit, see if I can improve it. You know, we've got an okay enough connection, but we've still dropped about 11% of our frames, which doesn't bode well for the game stream itself. So I'm going to take a moment and just disconnect. So the stream's going to go out for a little bit. But Stay tuned. I promise I will be back. Okay, that didn't work. Ah, darn it. Okay. Well, I just tried fooling around with the Wi-Fi, and long story short, no dice. You know, we're stuck with the one we've got. Like I said, I'm hoping it will stay okay, but like it's already getting a little fritzy. So unfortunately, some occasional dropped frames are just going to be a part of the experience out here in Waltham for this live stream. Like I said, I am recording this while I am streaming it, so I'll be able to upload a fully recorded version later tonight if you want to look out for that. But I think this stream should be okay. Although it's acting a little buggy right now, and I don't know why. This is what I get for messing around with it. Okay, looks like the connection is stabilizing a little bit, and I spoke too soon. No, it's getting better. Okay, so that was a really bad stretch of a connection. That's what I get for messing around. I have no one to blame but myself. right, looks like the two teams have finished their warm-ups. And they're about ready to get this show on the road. Looks like we'll have Newman playing on the near side of the court here in the first set. The Chargers on the far side. You may have noticed a little bit of a strange angle, just the size of the gym. This was the best place for me to set myself up. We're going to follow this as best we can. Newman coming out with a starting rotation featuring number 1, Charlotte Irwin, number 3, Fede Lopez, number 4, Ruby Romer, number 9, Abby Mustafi, number 12, Annabelle Pointer. And I'm just trying to spot the last one. Is number 5, Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik. Newman to get the opening serve. It'll come from Lopez. Cardinals versus Chargers. Here we go. And we start off with an ace. Let's take a look at that one again. As Fede Lopez sent it over and just off the side of the hands. Perfect for the first point of the day. This one over. This time it's dug out, but not over entirely. Back-to-back aces for Fede Lopez. This one up and over. It's taken cleanly this time. The Chargers cannot get it over in 3 hits. CHCH struggling mightily against the serves of Fede Lopez. Up and over. It's taken high, and they just barely managed to get it over. Lopez receives it. It's followed up by Romer. The roll shot from Mustafi, from Poggi-Rupnik, excuse me, perfect from Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik for the first kill for Newman today. Just perfect placement there. Now another serve into the net this time. But Newman jumps out to a good start as they score the first 4 points, 2 of them from aces from Fede Lopez and 1 kill from Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik. Serve misses long, just barely. A good watch by the Newman back line, and the Cardinals will take back over. I'm going to zoom out a little more just so we can help. Like I said, this is a bit of a weird spot to shoot from. The serve up and over, taken by the libero this time, kept alive, and they could not bump it over in 3 hits. Off the serve from Annabelle Pointer. Pointer sends it up and over. The libero takes it, followed up by 17 and bumped over this time. Taken now by Lopez, set by Romer, and sent over perfectly. Callahan Brown. And a timeout called by CHCH as Callahan Brown gets her first kill of the day. Let's check out that replay. Initial hit from Lopez, great set from Ruby Romer, and beautifully placed over by Callahan Brown. Just good placement. Sometimes you don't need the hardest hit in the world. Sometimes it just has to be put in the right spot. 7-1, the Newman lead here in Waltham. And we got our first note in the live chat from Kyle Parker. Let's go, Newman and Madeline Parker. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for tuning in, Kyle. Happy to be able to cover some fun volleyball action here. Out of the timeout now. It will still be a serve for Annabelle Pointer. Up and over it goes, and that one is going to go for an ace. First ace of the day for Annabelle Pointer. Just off the side of the hands. Now she sends this one over. Received by 17 and bumped over on 2. Spiked back. Kept alive by 19. Followed up by 9, and 19 bumps it over. Taken by Lopez. Followed up by Romer. And somehow getting the angle was Rupnik. Now CHCH sends it over. Kept alive. Great dig by Lopez. Followed up by Romer. Bumped over by Pointer. We got a long rally going here as the Chargers commit a double hit. Newman gets another point. 9-1 the lead. Serve. Received by the libero, followed up by 3. Spiked into the net by number 5. Newman the first to reach double figures here, 10-1. Pointer's serve misses wide, and CHCH takes the point and goes back on serve. This serve is long, and it's going to go off of Lopez, chased down by Pointer to keep it alive, and it's bumped over by Romer. Received by the libero, and another illegal double hit. Great hustle by Annabelle Pointer defensively there to keep that point alive. Now on serve is Rupnik, and that one just barely dug out, but close to the net. Can they push it over? They cannot. Another point for Newman. A nice serve from Beatriz Poggy Rupnik. Dropped that one in low, made it difficult to return. This one comes in, taken off the side of the hands. That's another ace for Newman. And we got another timeout called by the Chargers as the Cardinals lead 13-2 here in the first set. Let's check out that last serve again from Beatriz Poggy Rupnik. And again, just off the side of the hands there for the ace. In terms of offensive statistics so far, Beatriz Poggy Rupnik with 1 kill and 1 ace, Fede Lopez with 2 aces, Callahan Brown with 1 kill, and Annabelle Pointer with 1 ace. So strong serving from Newman as the Chargers struggling with receiving those serves. 4 aces for the Cardinals thus far in this one. We come out of the timeout now. Rupnik back on serve. Her team leads by 11. Up and over and long. I think all 3 of the Chargers' points so far have come off of service errors by the Cardinals. As now the Chargers on serve. This serve going to go straight into the net, and Newman's going to take the serve right back. Setting up for the serve this time is number 9, Abby Mustafa. A high one is received, followed up by 9 and punched over by 19. Taken by Pointer, set by Romer. The spike from Brown, another kill for Callahan Brown. Second kill of the day for Callahan Brown as we take a look at this replay. Just perfect shot there. Mustafa sends another one up and over. It's sent up high on the first hit. Bumped over by 19. Received by Mustafa, set by Romer. This time Lopez with the tap, misses wide. 15-4, the Newman lead. As we got our first substitution for Newman coming in for the first time today is number 15, Maddie Parker. She replaces Abby Mustafa. Serve misses wide from CHCH, and Newman goes back on serve, leading 16-4. We got another serve coming in for the Cardinals. Number 16, Alice Francis-Chet replaces Callahan Brown. Francis-Chet sends it over. It's received by 17, bumped by 9. 17 taps it over, but illegally touches the net. The ball might have hit the pole. Either way, a violation, and Newman goes up 17-4. Up and over, just barely dug out. They keep it alive, and 22 bumps it over. Taken by Rupnik, bumped by Romer. Pointer, the roll shot, perfectly to the corner. Oh, I gotta see that one again. Annabelle Pointer sent it to the back corner. Oh, they don't get much better than that. Francis-Chet, shallow serve, barely dug out, sent over on 1. Francis-Chet takes the serve, sent over on 2 by Romer, but taken by the libero, bumped by 9, and a punch is dug out by Parker. Francis-Chet follows up. Rupnik sends it over. The Chargers, long spike, missed. First kill of the day for CHCH. Makes it an 18-5 score here in the first set. Just a little bit of confusion between the front and back line as we've now got another sub coming in for Newman. Number 1, Charlotte Irwin replaces Alice Francis-Chet. This serve taken by Parker, followed up by Romer. Pointer, the spike down the line. Well hit by Annabelle Pointer. 19-5 as Annabelle Pointer gets her second kill of the set. Off the side of the hands, off the shot down the line. Serve from Romer goes over. It's taken by the Chargers. Set. Spike off the net. Newman reaches the 20 mark. 20-5. Romer back on serve. Up and over. Chargers send it over. Roll shot from 19. It's taken by Romer. It's bumped by Irwin and then bumped over by Lopez. Chargers set up again. High flying 19. Dug out by Lopez. Followed up by Romer. Pointer, the spike deflected and kept alive by 19. Followed up by 17. Bumped over by 9. Taken by Parker. And too close to the net. Oh, but they reached over the net, and that's a violation on CHCH. 21-5. Now the Newman lead. Just unfortunate there for the Chargers. Romer sends a short one, and it goes into the net. 21-6 now the score. These sets are first to 25, win by 2. Newman needs 4 more points to take the first set. Number 22 on serve for the Chargers. A deep serve is received, followed up by Romer, spiked over by Rupnik, and sends it long. A nice idea there, but just a little too much air on that roll shot. (21-7). Serve is shallow, taken by Pointer. It's over on one. No, it's not over. Couldn't quite return that one the way she wanted it to, and CHCH takes another point. 21-8 the score here in the first set. The serve taken by Parker, followed up by Romer. Tap by Pointer, dug out, and Pointer quickly follows it up, set by Romer, bumped over by Rupnik. Taken by 22, sent over on 2 by 9, taken by Lopez. Double hit is called, I think. Some kind of violation on Newman gives CHCH their 9th point. 4 straight points for the Chargers. Serve is long and too long. The service error puts Newman back on serve. As we got a couple of subs coming in. Mustafi back in the game, replacing Parker. Back to the beginning, the serve from Lopez off the net cord for the ace. Boy, not much you can do about that defensively. 3rd ace of the set for Fede Lopez, as see it just go off the net cord and drop. This one drops in again, back-to-back aces. Lopez has 4 for the set as she just sent that one perfectly to the back corner. It is set point now for Newman. Up and over, drops in! Newman takes the first set as 3 consecutive aces from number 3 herself. Fede Lopez ends it. As we take a look at that last point. Just dropped in the back line perfectly there. And so Newman takes the first set 25-9. Newman just well in control of that one from start to finish. Of the stats I'm able to keep track of, Fede Lopez leading the way with 5 aces. Annabelle Pointer with 2 kills and 1 ace. Callahan Brown with 2 kills. Beatriz Poggy Rupnik with 1 kill and 1 ace. And with that, Newman takes the first set. Now these matches are best of 5. So the first to get 3 sets wins the match. So if Newman wins 2 more sets, then that ends it. Oh, we've got some CHCH fans tuning in. Proud grandparents from Alabama. Number 19 is Abigail Scanlon. Go CHCH. Like I said, I don't care who you're rooting for. I'm happy to see fans and family members tuning in and bringing the good vibes in the live chat. You know, at the end of the day, these are kids out here playing a game, having fun. And, you know, I'm glad that the viewers can have fun along with us. So you see the teams huddling up before we start the second set. Newman now going to be on the far side, the Chargers on the near side. I think we're just waiting on something over at the scorer's table because that's where the balls are with the official. You know, just crossing the T's and dotting the I's there. That's all that is. Making sure they got everyone's rosters and rotations perfectly aligned. Okay, needed to make sure they did the proper procedure when subbing in the libero there. But now here comes the serve from CHCH. Number 9 sends it up and over and starts us off with an ace. CHCH with an ace to start the second set. They got to feel pretty good about that one. Up and over, this time received. Bumped up in the air by Irwin and sent over by Pointer, dug out. Set 5, the spike, deflected, kept alive by Rupnik. Pointer winds and fires on the roll, shot on 2, and it goes off the backboard. Can they track it? They say too much. Bouncing off the ropes is going to technically go for a kill for Annabelle Pointer. That's her 3rd of the match so far. And now she'll take the serve for Newman, all tied up at 1 apiece. Serve comes in, couldn't be received by 17. It goes off the backboard. Another ace for Newman as Pointer with her 2nd ace of the match thus far. Serve taken by number 1, set by 9. Scanlon the roll shot over, taken by Romer, set by Mustafa. Rupnik, the spike down the line. Second kill of the day for Beatriz Poggi Rupnik. 3-1 the Newman lead. Serve taken by 1, followed up by 9. Scanlon bumps it over. Taken by Pointer, set by Romer. Spike from Mustafa, just wide. CHCH back on serve. Newman with a 3-2 lead. It'll be Scanlon sending it up and over, received by Mustafa. Bumped in the air. Rupnik sends it off the pole. Can't do that. That's a violation. That's a point to the Chargers. All squared at 3 apiece. Scanlon sends it over, received awkwardly by Brown, bumped by Mustafa, sent over the net cord by Callahan Brown. Bit of a lucky shot that time as Callahan Brown collects her 3rd kill of the match, just off the net cord and drops in. This serve drops in for an ace. Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik. Oops, points already started. My fault. This one taken by Mustafi, set by Romer, and roll shot from Brown. And they couldn't make the call, so they're going to redo the point. Also, my mistake, that was Lopez, not Mustafi, who took that first hit. So, mulligan on that one. We're going to try again. Rupnik on serve. Sends it in off of number 1, taken by 9, and confusion gives the point to Newman. The serve taken by Scanlon, set by 9. 3 taps it over, received by Pointer, followed up by Romer. Mustafi, the long roll shot, perfectly dropped in the bucket. Timeout called by the Chargers. As we take a look at this one again, Abby Mustafi with her first kill of the match. A rainbow shot to the back end. Seven to 3, Newman leads. We got another nice note from Sherry Polk in the live chat. Thanks for the live streaming opportunity. Nice way to watch games being far away. Thank you so much. You know, I'm just a fan of the game, so I just love doing this in general. But, you know, knowing that it gives everyone else a chance to enjoy the games and have a good time, you know, support distant family members, really warms my heart. So thank you for saying that. Seven to 3, the Cardinals lead the Chargers here in set number 2. Rupnik back on serve. Serve goes off the fingertips, off the backboard. Another ace for Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik. That is 3 aces on the day for Rupnik. This time it's received, but followed up awkwardly. Confusion on the second hit gives Newman another point. 9 to 3. The serve off the hands, another ace. 4 aces now for Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik. This serve is received by 17, set by 9. Tap over by 3, could not be dug out. Well placed by the Chargers, number 3. Right in the middle of all possible receivers. 10-4 now the score, number 1 on serve for CHCH. Serve is taken by Mustafi, followed up by Romer. Or no, that's Pointer. Pointer bumps it over, taken by Scanlon, followed up desperately by 9, and bumped over by 22. Lopez receives, bumped by Romer. Callahan, Brown fires, dug out by 1, followed up by 9. Scanlon, the long roll shot, drops it right in the middle of no man's land for a kill. 10 to 5. One serve is taken by Pointer, followed up by Romer, and whiffed on the third hit. The set just wasn't quite where the hitter needed it to be, and the Cardinals' error gives the Chargers their 6th point of the set. This serve taken by Pointer, followed up by Romer. Mustafi taps it high. It's sent back on 1, received by Pointer. Sent over on 2 by Romer, taken by 1, followed up by 9. Scanlon, the long spike, received by Pointer kind of awkwardly, kept alive by Rupnik. Bumped over desperately by, I think, Romer. Dug out by Scanlon, followed up by 1. Punched over by 3, taken by Lopez. Set by Romer. Brown, roll shot to the back, taken by Scanlon, and couldn't be followed up. What a fun rally that one was. And ultimately it is Newman that comes away with the point. 11-6, and the Cardinals go back on serve. Mustafi on serve for the Cardinals. And misses wide. Now subbing in for Newman, number 15, Maddie Parker. Number 3 on serve for the Chargers. Into the net. So both teams send the serve right back to their opponent, as you now have a sub for Newman, number 16, Alice Francis-Chet, back in the game, replacing Callahan Brown. 12-7, the Newman lead. Serve taken by 17, chased down by 9, bumped over by Scanlon, received by Lopez, set by Romer. Pointer, the spike off the net cord, could not be dug out. Fourth kill of the match so far for Annabelle Pointer as we take a look at the replay. Just off the net cord, desperate dive by number 1, but could not dig that one out. Serve drops in. Francis-Chet with the ace. Just drops it in shallow. Oops, I'm not going to have time for the replay on that one, unfortunately. Another high shallow one, this time taken by 1, followed up by 9. Spike over by Scanlon, dug out by Francis-Chet, followed up by Rupnik, bumped over by Pointer, taken by 3. Followed up by Scanlon, pushed over by 9. Taken by Francis-Chet, set by Romer. Pointer taps it, but 9 was waiting for it and puts it in the perfect spot. 14-8. The Chargers have almost matched their total from the entire first set. They've been looking much better in this second set. 17, serve, dug out on the slide, sent over on 1 by Lopez. Now this one received by Parker, bumped by Romer, and sent over by Lopez, and they could not. They double hit it. Well played by Fede Lopez as Newman gets back on serve. It'll be Ruby Romer. Serve comes in shallow for the ace. Ruby Romer with her first ace of the match as we now have got a timeout called. Yeah, it can be really tricky when you put those serves in a spot that seems too far for the frontline hitters, but too shallow for the backline hitters. You know, if someone doesn't make a decision right away defensively on that, you know, those balls can be really dangerous for the returning side. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff coming in the live chat now. From Lisa Schultz, thanks for streaming. Coach Samantha's parents watching from Texas, go Cardinals. From Abby Fournier, number 22, Salamiano fan. Number 3 is Ellie, number 1, Medi, number 17, Olivia, number 9, Mary Grace. I'm going to try and fill those in as I go in between points, but thank you so much for all that helpful information. Out of the timeout, 16-8. Romer with the serve. It's taken, spiked by Scanlon, and it's kept alive somehow by the Cardinals. Llanos bumps that one over and places it perfectly. Great hustle from both sides. Now on serve, Yano going to follow up the nice bump kill there, and her serve into the net. Gives the serve back to Newman. On serve now is Fede Lopez. She had 5 aces in the first set. And this time, her first serve goes into the net. And I mean, you know what? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get hot with the serve, and then sometimes you just miss your first one, and then it can be a really long wait to get to your next one, and depending on how the match goes, you might not even get another chance. Mary Grace sends that one over. It's dug out by Lopez, set by Romer. Pointer taps it down the line. Dug out by Medi, but couldn't be sent over. (18-10), the Newman lead, and now Pointer on serve as Brown subs back into the game for Newman. Serve comes in, it's received, set by Mary Grace, bumped over by Scanlon. Taken now by Pointer, set by Romer. Rupnik, the roll shot down the line for the kill. Beatriz Poggi Rupnik with a nice hit there for her 3rd kill so far this match. 19-10, the Newman lead. Pointer's serve drops right in between the receivers. Pointer with her 3rd ace of the day there. Gets Newman across the 20-point threshold. The serve, received awkwardly, could not take it. Another ace for Pointer, back to back. 4th ace for Annabelle Pointer, 21-10. The serve dug out. They're trying. They cannot keep it alive. I think we can safely call that one another ace, make it 5 total for Annabelle Pointer, and 3 in a row. This serve taken by 17, followed up by Medi, and 17 cannot bump it over. Another service point. I don't know if that one quite qualifies as an ace, but either way, a lot of consecutive service points here for Pointer. This time taken cleanly by Medi, set by Mary Grace. Ellie sends it over, taken by Romer, set by Mustafi. Rupnik sends it wide, and that will be a point for the Chargers. So Newman starts pulling away late here in this set off some great service points from Annabelle Pointer. Scanlon now sends this serve over, and it's not dug out. Just kind of went off the side of the hands. They tried to recover it. They could not. 23-12 now the score. This serve taken by Mustafi, set by Romer. Rupnik, hit taken by Scanlon, bumped by Mary Grace, and spike over by 5 goes off the defender's hands. And you could see she instantly knew She shouldn't have touched that one, as it might have been going wide, but when a ball comes at you, sometimes instincts just take over. 23-13. Scanlon's serve bounces wide. And Newman takes the serve back with set point. Rupnik now on serve for the set. Taken by Medi, set by Mary Grace, spike by 17, received by Pointer. Followed up by Romer, and sent over by Mustafi. Mary Grace gets it back. Mustafi pushes right back. Mary Grace sends it back over. Taken by Brown, set by Romer. Brown, long roll shot, received by Scanlon. Mary Grace with the set. Spike by Scanlon. Kept alive by Pointer, followed up by Lopez. Bumped over by Romer. Dug out by Scanlon, set by Mary Grace. Ellie spikes it, taken by Lopez. Set by Romer, punched over by Pointer. Pointer ends it! Annabelle Pointer with her 5th kill of the match ends a fantastic rally, with Newman taking the second set. Just sent it straight up the line. Boy, credit to everyone who touched the ball in that rally. You know, I know with highlights and replays, I can't always highlight every player, but I try and mention everyone who touches the ball, and boy, what a thrilling way to end a set. I love points like that. And so 2-0. Newman now leads as they take the second one, 25-13. Definitely an improvement for the Chargers. Stats for Newman through the first 2 sets. Annabelle Pointer leading the way with 5 kills and 5 aces. She came through so big for Newman in that second set. Beatriz Poggi Rupnik with 3 kills and 4 aces. Fede Lopez tied for the team lead with 5 aces. Callahan Brown with 3 kills. Abby Mustafi with 1 kill. Ruby Romer and Alice Francis Chet with 1 ace each. In the live chat, we've got another name for CHCH from Abby Fournier. Number 5 is Raya. So like I said before, these high school volleyball matches are best of 5. So it's the first to get 3 sets wins the match and ends it. So Newman could end this match if they win this upcoming 3rd set. If the Chargers win the next set, we go to a 4th set. And then once again, if Newman wins and gets their 3rd set, they would finish the match. But if the Chargers win the next 2 sets, then we would go to a 5th set. That would be best of 15 win by 2 instead of best of 25 win by 2. So we'll see how that works. So far, Newman has been very well in control. But, you know, give credit to CHCH. They looked much better in that second set than they did in the first, going from 9 points to 13. And keeping it close for a good chunk of it. You know, like, it wasn't really until, like, Newman felt pretty well in control for most of the match, but it didn't feel like it was like they were dominating until Annabelle Pointer got that string of aces together that really built them a gargantuan lead that, you know, felt insurmountable. But here we go. They switch sides again. Newman back on the near side court. Chargers back on the far side. The Cardinals aiming to end this match in a 3-set sweep. The Chargers trying to keep the fight alive here in the 3rd set. Number 3, Fede Lopez, starting us off here in set number 3. Up and over it goes, and it's long. So first point to CHCH. Number 9, Mary Grace on serve for the Chargers. And she sends it into the net. Back-to-back erroneous serves, as we've got an early substitution for Newman. Number 2, Callahan Brown comes in, replacing Charlotte Irwin. Pointer now on serve. Pointer, serve taken, and could not be. It's 2 points in the basket. It was a good effort by Medi to try and keep that one alive, but they couldn't quite control it. 2-1, the Newman lead. Pointer sends that one over, and it's into the net. 2 apiece. 3 of the 4 points thus far coming from service errors. Scanlon sends this one over. It's taken by Mustafi, set by Romer. Rupnik fires the roll shot. It's dug out by Scanlon. Set by Ellie, bumped over by Raya. Taken by Pointer, set by Romer. Brown sends the roll shot to the back corner. Great play by Callahan Brown for her 4th kill of the set, as she just sent it. Nice little floater shot to the back corner. Serve from Rupnik, taken by Medi. Over the net cord, and it's dug out by Romer, pushed over by Mustafi, taken by Mary Grace. Raya winds and fires, sends it long. Some heads-up play from both sides, but ultimately the last hit from the Chargers goes long. Rupnik, the serve, taken by Medi, set by Ellie, punched over by Scanlon, dug out by Lopez, taken by Medi, set by Ellie, bumped over by Mary Grace, taken by Lopez, set by Romer, and Mustafi kind of whiffed on that spike, and it will go to CHCH. Timing those passes and hits, it's a lot harder than it looks. You know, so when you see an ugly miss like that, understand, you know, even if you get those like 10 times, that 11th will kill you. Serve taken by Lopez, followed up by Rupnik, bumped over by Romer, gets over and drops in. The rare defensive kill there for Ruby Romer. As you see, that one just kind of dropped shallow in no man's land. Now Mustafi, the serve, taken by Scanlon, set by Mary Grace, and it goes over, and Romer again heads up to take it, and Romer just punches it over, taken by 17, and confusion gives the point to Newman. 6-3, the Cardinals lead here in set number 3. Mustafi, serve goes over, taken by Scanlon, set by Mary Grace. Ellie, the spike, dug out by Rupnik, followed up by Romer, punched over by Brown, dug out by Medi, to the wrong spot. And Brown gets her 5th kill of the match. Mustafi, the serve, dug out by Scanlon, and Mary Grace tried to keep it alive but could not. And a timeout is called by the Chargers. 8-3 now the Newman lead. Excuse me. Oof. Sorry about that. Allergy season, it'll do a number on you. So 8-3 the Newman lead. It's, you know, been a bit of a tricky start to this third set for both sides. Both sides with some service errors, with some, you know, miscommunications on passes, things of that nature. Overall, Newman's still holding the advantage by 5 points. And the thing we've seen from this Newman squad today is that at any moment, one of their servers could just kind of go on a run of aces and just rack up the points. 8-3. Mustafai's serve is taken, followed up by Mary Grace. It's going to be a long bump over from Scanlon. Received by Pointer. Romer chases it down, tapped over by Lopez, dug out, followed up by Medi, and Yano couldn't chase it down. Nine to 3, the Newman lead. Mustafai's serve taken awkwardly by Medi, but followed up well by Scanlon. Bumped over by Mary Grace. Taken by Mustafai. Bumped by Romer. Brown sends it over. Received by Mary Grace, but couldn't be followed up. Just sent that one to the wrong spot, and that'll be 6 kills for Callahan Brown. Mustafai over, taken by Medi, set by Mary Grace. 17, punches it over, taken by Pointer, set by Romer. Lopez winds and fires, dug out by Scanlon. Set by Mary Grace, punched over by Scanlon, taken by Pointer, sent over on 2 by Romer, sent back on 1 by Mary Grace, and Mary Grace places it in the right spot, just in between the 2 defenders, and she gets the kill there. Substitution for Newman. For the first time, we are seeing number 7, Addie Gordon, coming out on the floor, replacing Abby Mustafai. Serve from Ellie, taken by Lopez, set by Romer. Lopez couldn't get the hand on that one correctly, and that'll be another point for the Chargers, 10-5. Ellie's serve taken by Pointer. Romer bumps it, bumped over by Lopez, taken by Ellie, set by Mary Grace. Spike 17, taken by Pointer, bumped by Romer. Lopez sails that one. Ten to 6, now the lead. Serve taken by Rupnik. Bumped by Romer. Lopez whiffs on the spike. Fede Lopez, who's been a very strong defensive player for Newman, getting a chance to play as the outside hitter. And you can tell it's not her usual spot. She's working on it. It's a work in progress. Serve goes wide. 11-7, the Newman lead. Subbing in for the Chargers is number 7, as for Newman, number 16, Alice Francis-Chet subs in, replacing Callahan Brown. She will go on serve. Serve drops in. Second ace of the day for Alice Francis-Chet. Just dropped it in on the shallow side in a crowd of defenders. This serve dug out this time, but they couldn't send it over. This is what I was saying, you know, sometimes these Newman servers, they just find a rhythm. This one into the net, couldn't get it over. You can tell that one just kind of went off the fingertips there. She didn't get the full palm on it. Serve taken by Irwin, set by Romer. Spike Lopez drops in that time. Practice makes perfect for Fede Lopez as she gets her first kill of the day. (14-8). Romer's serve into the net. (14-9) now the score. Yano now on serve for the Chargers. Serve is taken over on one. Mary Grayson's back over on one. Taken by Lopez. Bumped by Romer. Punched over by Pointer. Good job avoiding the net. 7 to Mary Grace. To I think 17. That one received by Gordon. Set awkwardly by Romer. And Rupnik could not get it over. Just did not have an angle. Yano the serve, it's taken by Irwin, followed up by Romer. Rupnik, roll shot dug out by 17, followed up Mary Grace, punched over by Scanlon, taken by Lopez, followed up by Romer. Pointer winds and fires, gets through the blockers for the kill. Looked for a second like we might see our first block of the match, but instead what we see is kill number 6 for Annabelle Pointer. Lopez on serve. This one dug out by Medi, spiked right back by Pointer, dug out by 17, taken by Rupnik, followed up by Romer. Another spike from Pointer, received by 7, set by Mary Grace, tapped over by Scanlon, dug out by Romer. No one follows it up. Miscommunication on Newman's side, and it's now a 4-point game here in set number 3. Mary Grace on serve. Taken by Irwin, kept alive by Romer, punched over by Lopez, and that sails wide, went off the side of her hand. Serve drops in. The ace snuck up on everybody, including me. I didn't turn the camera in time. So that's my fault there. Just a really nice serve from Mary Grace. This serve taken, could not be followed up. It's a 1-point game now off back-to-back aces from Mary Grace. CHCH bringing the fight here in set number 3. This serve taken by Mustafi, followed up by Irwin, bumped over by Romer. Taken by 17, followed up by Mary Grace. Spike Scanlon sails wide. Big break there for the Cardinals as they fend off the potential tie for now. Callahan Brown back into the game, replacing Charlotte Irwin. Annabelle Pointer on serve. Serve taken by 17, set by Mary Grace, bumped over by Scanlon, received by Lopez, set by Romer. No angle, but Rupnik somehow gets it over. Received by Scanlon, followed up by Mary Grace. Scanlon taps it over. Dug out by Romer. Sent over on 2 by Mustafi. Taken by Mary Grace. Bumped over on 2 by Scanlon. Received by Lopez. Set by Romer. Mustafi with a roll shot. Taken by 17. Set by Mary Grace. Scanlon winds and fires. Dug out by Pointer. Followed up by Lopez and bumped over by Romer. Taken by Scanlon. Mary Grace bumps it. And it's sent over by Scanlon. Received awkwardly by Pointer and blocked by Raya on the on-2 attempt. It is a 1-point set once again at 16-15 after a thrilling rally that ended in a big block from number 5, Raya. Scanlon's serve taken by Lopez, followed up by Romer. Spike from Rupnik off the net cord, but dug out by Ellie. Pushed over by Mary Grace, taken by Pointer, set by Romer. Brown the roll shot, received by Scanlon. Pushed over by Mary Grace, taken by Lopez, set by Romer, and blocked again by Raya. We've got a tie here in the third set at 16 apiece off back-to-back block points by Raya. Scanlon's serve taken by Mustafi, bumped by Romer. Mustafi taps it over, dug out by a diving Mary Grace, bumped over on 2 by Ellie, taken by Romer, set by Mustafi. Romer with the hit, taken by Mehdi, set by Mary Grace, and Ellie somehow gets it over the net court, somehow dug out by Rupnik, and that miscommunication, they couldn't bump it over. Timeout now called by Newman as the Chargers take the latest lead they have had so far today. 17-16, the home team now leads here in set number 3. Give a lot of credit to CHCH. They have adjusted well defensively. They are receiving Newman's set hits a lot better with each progressing set. But also Newman got to get better on stringing those hits together more consistently, because there have been a few points of miscommunication that have cost them dearly. (17-16), the Chargers lead the Cardinals here in the third set. Abigail Scanlon on serve. Taken by Mustafi, bumped by Romer. Brown taps it over. It's taken by Mary Grace, followed up by Mehdi. Over on 2. It's taken by Rupnik. Set by Romer. Rupnik sends it down the line. Perfect. That is how you come out of a timeout. Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik with her 4th kill of the match, and that one was angled perfectly away from the potential blocker in Raya and down the line for a kill. Her serve is received, followed up by Mary Grace. Long spike Scanlon, dug out by Rupnik, followed up by Romer. Mustafi sends it over, drops it in the bucket. 2 huge clutch points from the Cardinals. This one from Abby Mustafi, her 2nd kill of the match, and just like that, Newman is back on top. Rupnik, serve drops in, that's an ace. Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik catching fire here in these late stages. That is her 5th ace of this match. Newman now up 19-17. Another serve, this one dug out by Medi, followed up 17, bumped over by Mary Grace. Taken by Lopez, set by Romer. Brown, high roll shot taken by Medi, followed up by Mary Grace. Punched over by Ellie, drops on the line and gets the point. Newman thought it was going to go long, but it did not. And now once again, it is a 1-point set. Newman did well, stringing 3 unanswered points together out of the timeout, but the Chargers fighting back again. Medi, the serve, taken by Pointer, followed up by Romer. Mustafa, awkward spike down the line is wide. All tied up again at 19. Medi, another serve taken by Pointer, but it's over on one. Tapped back by Iano, somehow dug out by Rupnik, but it sails wide. Once again, the Chargers have the lead 20-19. As they produce 3 unanswered points of their own to answer Newman's. Medi's serve taken by Lopez, chased down by Rupnik, and miscommunication on the third hit. CHCH up 2 now, 21-19. Another timeout called by Newman. You see again just the miscommunication and how that just, you know, can sometimes mess up sequences, you know, just when things get a little chaotic, a little off script, and players aren't entirely sure where they're supposed to be. And so multiple players go after the ball, and, well, you saw what happened with that last point. (21-19), and again, if the Chargers take this set, we will go to a 4th set. And then if the Chargers also win that 4th set, we will go to a do-or-die 5th set that will be 1st to 15. Out of the timeout, Medi back on serve. Serve received by Lopez, followed up by Romer, and it's over on 2. Punched back by Ellie, received by Mustafa, bumped by Romer, and bumped over by Brown. Received by Medi, set by Mary Grace. Long spike Scanlon, dug out by Lopez, set by Mustafa. Sent over on the roll shot by Brown, received by Mary Grace, set by Iano, tapped over by Ellie, taken by Pointer, set by Romer. Spike Mustafa. Off of 17, it's taken by Scanlon, punched over by Mary Grace, received by Pointer, set by Romer, punched high by Brown, taken by Mary Grace, and into the net. Iano tried to take the aggressive on-2 hit there and just didn't have the height for it. Mustafa's serve into the net. Oh, in a set this close, can't give the other team free points on erroneous serves. Subbing back in is Gordon. Serve taken by Rupnik, set by Romer. Roll shot, sails long. 23-20, the Chargers now lead. Serve from Ellie is short. Big juncture coming up here, 23-21. Newman needs 2 points to tie this thing up. The Chargers need 2 points to win the set. Francis Chet on serve for the Cardinals. Into the net. Set point now for CHCH as the Newman servers running into some errors at the worst time. '17 sends it over, taken by Lopez, set by Romer. Lopez spikes it off the net cord. This one's not over yet as Lopez collects her second kill. Serve from Romer is taken by Mehdi. Sent over on two, received by Romer. Bumped by Irwin and sent over by Lopez, received by Scanlon. Set by Mary Grace for Scanlon. Dug out by Gordon. Followed up by Pointer, and Lopez couldn't get it over, and the Chargers take the set. Newman almost came back again, but could not manage it this time. The Chargers take set number 3, 25-22. Newman seemed so firmly in control through the first two sets, but the Chargers just found another gear in that third set to keep this match alive at 2-1. Stats so far for Newman: Annabelle Pointer with 6 kills and 5 aces, tied for the team lead in both categories. Callahan Brown with 6 kills. Beatriz Poggi Rupnik with 4 kills and 5 aces. Fede Lopez with 2 kills, 5 aces. 2 kills for Abby Mustafi, 2 aces for Alice Francis Chet, and 1 kill and 1 ace for Ruby Romer. All right, here we go. Set number 4. Newman wasn't able to get the sweep, but they're going to try and finish this match regardless here. In the 4th set, the Chargers hoping to send us to a 5th set. Newman took the first two, 25-9 and 25-13. But then the Chargers showing a lot of fight in that third set to win 25-22. Chargers get the opening serve. And Mary Grace sends it over for an opening ace. So the Chargers take the first point of the fourth set. Mary Grace sends it over and it drops in between a couple defenders. Back-to-back aces for Mary Grace. This serve into the net. Newman now takes over Annabelle Pointer, first on serve for the Cardinals. Serve dug out by 17. It goes over on one. Rupnik receives it. Bumped by Romer and then bumped over and off the net cord for a bump kill for Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik. That ties us up at 2 and gets Rupnik her 5th kill of the match. Pointer serve in for an ace. Six aces for Annabelle Pointer. She sends another one over. This one taken by Medi, set by Mary Grace Scanlon. The roll shot taken by Pointer, bumped by Romer. Spike Mustafi to the back, taken by 17, set by Mary Grace. Ellie couldn't tap it over, and she ran into the net. Ellie was trying to chase after that third hit, but the second hit went just over the net, and she over-pursued it and touched the net. Pointer serve received by 17, set by Mary Grace, bumped over by Scanlon, received by Pointer, set by Romer. Long roll shot, Brown, too long. Now Scanlon on serve. Off the net court, somehow received by Brown, and it's sent over by Romer. Received by Raya, set by Mary Grace, and Scanlon sends it into the net. 5-3. Newman leads. Serve by Rupnik, taken by Medi, sent over on 2 by 17, received awkwardly by Brown, followed up by Rupnik, bumped over by Romer, and it drops into no man's land for a bit of a defensive kill. Romer, her second of those types of kills, as Newman was just kind of desperately trying to get that one over. This serve sails just long. And Medi, that one just kind of went off the side of her hand. Newman back on serve. Mustafi sends it wide. Again, both teams got to be careful with the service errors. That's just free points to your opponent. Ellie sends it over, received by Pointer, tapped over on 2 by Romer, but dug out by Mary Grace, sent over on 2 by 17. Rupnik kind of whiffed on the bump, and they call a double hit on Newman. And that will get the point to the Chargers. It is a 7-6 set right now. Ellie sends it over, taken by Lopez, followed up by Parker, bumped over by Brown, received by Iano, set by Mary Grace. Iano, the spike sails long. Good watch along the back line by the Cardinals. Now Newman on serve with a 2-point advantage. Francis Chet checks in to take the serve. Serve dug out by Mehdi, but sent over on one. Pointer sends it down. Mehdi digs it out again. 17, couldn't quite follow it up. 9-6, now the Newman lead. Francis Chet sends it wide. Francis Chet now subs out for Charlotte Irwin. Number 17 now on serve for CHCH. Serve taken by Lopez, followed up, tapped over by Lopez. Fede Lopez, good placement on the tap there. Third kill of the match for Lopez. Romer's serve, sent over on one by Mehdi, taken, set by Romer. Pointer winds and fires, drops it in. And a timeout called as we take a look again at this hit by Annabelle Pointer. I was a little behind with the camera, but it did drop in. And so that makes it 11-7 as Annabelle Pointer records her team-leading 7th kill of the match. Newman with a 4-point lead at this point, but after the fight the Chargers showed last set, you can't be comfortable with a lead this small. Out of the timeout, Romer back on serve. Scanlon receives, set by Mary Grace. Scanlon spikes, drops in on the back line. Abigail Scanlon with a nice kill, and now Raya back into the game for the Chargers. You know that's going to pose a threat in the middle. Yano's serve taken by Lopez, bumped by Rupnik, and bumped over by Lopez. Received awkwardly and sent over on one, and it drops on the line as the Chargers get another point off the bump kill from Mary Grace. Serve received by Lopez, but sent over on one. It's taken by Scanlon, followed up by Mary Grace. Spike is whiffed. (12-9) the score as Abby Mustafi subs back in for Newman, replacing Maddie Parker. Lopez now on serve. And another serve into the net. She had a really great first set with 5 aces, but since then has kind of been struggling with her serves. (12-10). Mary Grace's serve also into the net. 13-10. Pointer's serve received by 17, followed up by Mary Grace, and bumped over by Scanlon. Received by Pointer, bumped awkwardly by Romer and sent over on one. Scanlon reached over the net, and they give the point to Newman. Newman back up by 4 after a couple of big breaks there. 14-10, Pointer on serve. This serve drops in the line. 7th ace of the day for Annabelle Pointer. This serve taken by 17, followed up by Mary Grace, and Scanlon bumps it over. Taken by Lopez, set by Romer. Rupnik fires a roll shot taken by 17. Sent over on 2 by Ellie, received by Pointer, bumped by Romer. Mustafa fires a roll shot, drops in. Abby Mustafa with her 3rd kill of the match, and a timeout is called. (16-10). Newman's lead gradually getting larger, but again, you got to remember what happened in the 3rd set. It looked like Newman was going to stay in control. So 16-10. Out of the timeout. Pointer still on serve. Long serve received awkwardly by 17, but followed up well by Mary Grace. Spiked over by Scanlon. Received by Pointer. Chased down by Romer. And Pointer can't get it over. Chargers take back the serve, 16-11. Scanlon on serve. Up and over it goes, received by Mustafa, set by Romer. Mustafa, roll shot, dug out by Mehdi, sent over on 1. Taken by Lopez, set by Romer. Now Rupnik, the spike, gets through the defense into the corner perfectly. Beatriz Poggy Rupnik, her 6th kill. Let's look at this one again. Boom, just right through the lane into the corner. 6 kills now for Rupnik. And her serve dug out by Mehdi, sent back on 1 by Romer. Scanlon couldn't dig it out. Great hit back by Ruby Romer. Her 3rd kill. It's an 18-11 Newman lead now. Serve from Rupnik, received by Mehdi, followed up by Ellie. Bumped over by Scanlon, received by Pointer, set by Romer. Sent over on the roll shot. They're trying to keep it alive, and they do. And Newman cannot. What a wild save by the Chargers to stay in that point somehow, and that makes it 18-12. Medi sends it over, received by Lopez, followed up by Romer. Roll shot Mustafa, taken by 17, set by Mary Grace, bumped over by Scanlon, received by Pointer, sent over on 2 by Romer, received by Iano, sent over on 2 by Ellie, received by Romer, bumped by Pointer. Mustafa just has to bump it over, taken by Medi, set by Mary Grace. Ellie punches it, taken by Pointer, set by Romer. Sent over on the roll, shot by Brown, received by Mary Grace, set by Ellie, pushed over by Mary Grace, taken by Lopez, bumped by Romer. Mustafa whiffed. (18-13) is the lead. Medi, a big swing, too big, it goes long. 19-13. The Chargers 9 points away from tying it. Newman, or not 9, 6 points away from tying it. Newman 6 points away from winning the match. Mustafa, the serve, taken by Scanlon, followed up awkwardly by Ellie, bumped over by Scanlon, received by Lopez, set over on 2 by Romer, taken by 17, set by Mary Grace, long spike Scanlon, taken by Pointer, bumped by Romer, sent over by Lopez, taken by Medi, bumped by Mary Grace, bumped over by Ellie, long. So far, every set today has been won by the team that reached 20 points first, and now Newman has reached that threshold first in the 4th set. Mustafa serve just wide. What are you looking for? So what happened there was that the ball hit the scoreboard that's over here in the same corner where I'm planted, and it kind of messed it up, so they had to turn it off and on again. Serve now from Ellie, dug out just barely by Parker, taken by Medi, sent over on 2 by Mary Grace, could not be dug out. (20-15) now the score. Ellie the serve, taken by Pointer, set by Romer, spike Brown, taken by Ellie, followed up by Scanlon, bumped over by Mary Grace, received by Pointer, set by Romer, spike Lopez sails long. The Chargers narrowing that gap down to 4 points. Ellie's serve curves wide. Just a little too much side spin on that one, as we've got a substitution checking in for Newman. Frances Chet comes back in to take the serve for Brown. Her team up 5. They need 4 more points to win the match. Serve taken by 17, set by Mary Grace. Roll shot 17, taken awkwardly by Frances Chet, but followed up by Lopez, bumped over by Pointer, and Pointer gets the bump kill. Make it 8 kills today for Annabelle Pointer. Serve taken by Scanlon, set by Mary Grace. Roll shot 17, drops perfectly in the right spot. Chargers back on serve. Number 17 on serve, sails wide. (23-17). Romer on serve. Serve taken by Medi. Bumped by Mary Grace, and Scanlon whiffs on the spike. So a couple of back-to-back mistakes from the Chargers, and just like that, Newman has got match point up 7. 24-17. Here we go. Romer serving for the match. And the serve is short. Still match point for Newman. The Chargers will need to get back 6 unanswered points if they want to stay in this. Salamiano on serve. And it's into the net, and that is how it will end. The final score here in Waltham, Massachusetts, the Newman School Cardinals 3 sets. The Chapel Hill Chauncy Hall Chargers 1 set. Final set scores 25-9, 25-13, 22-25, and 25-18. All I can say is what a hard-fought match that was from both sides. Hats off to the Chargers. They got off to such a rough start in those first 2 sets, but they grew with each progressive set, and they put up a fight, and they made it look like there was a really good chance we would have gone to 5 sets. And give a lot of credit to Newman. Aside from the strong start they came out with in the first 2 sets, after dropping that 3rd set and the Chargers continuing to show that fight in the 4th set, they stood tall, made the plays they needed to play, kept their poise, and finished the job. Final stats that I have for Newman in terms of kills and aces. Annabelle Pointer, what a day she had. 8 kills and 7 aces to lead the team in both categories. Beatriz Poggi-Rupnik had a nice day of 6 kills and 5 aces. Callahan Brown had 6 kills. Fede Lopez had 3 kills and 5 aces. Ruby Romer had 3 kills and 1 ace and a large number of assists. I just didn't really keep track of assists because that was just a little too hard to do while doing everything else. Abby Mustafi had 3 kills, and Alice Francis Chet had 2 aces. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes and the helpful info in the live chat. If there's anything you would like to say after this live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You know, I know this live stream wasn't perfect connection-wise. We dropped about 7% of our frames today, so I'm probably going to upload a fully recorded version later tonight. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. I'll probably post a link to it in the description section. And also below that, in the description section, you'll be able to find some of the same info you can find in the bottom right corner of your screen, some information about me, the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me and the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Also, if you want to skip past that and simply contact me directly, you can send me an email with any questions or requests you may have. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Final score, Newman 3, CHCH 1, 25-9, 25-13, 22-25, 25-18. From from the campus of Chapel Hill Chauncy Hall School in Waltham, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.